Michael, and welcome to my Urushi studio. Today I wanted to talk about something completely different, Urushi rash. So it's urushiol induced contact dermatitis. So the reaction of the skin to the most important ingredient of urushi from our point of view, so urushiol. Urushiol is a compound which can be found in many different plants. Most of them are from one family. It can be found even in cashew nuts, but in so small quantities that it does not induce any reaction. But in case of urushi tree sap, so our lacquer, the amount of urushiol is huge. It's up to even 80%. So with people who are sensitive to urushiol, it can be extremely dangerous. The substance, this urushiol, is exactly the same which can be found in poison ivy, poison oak, or poison sumac. As you can see, all the names of the plants which contain urushiol have a poison in the name. And it is poisonous. The skin reaction for urushi at something around 20 to 30% of people can be extreme. Blisters, rash, swollen skin, even open wounds can develop through contact with even the smallest amount of urushi. Some people are immune, but it's something around 10 to 12 people. And fortunately, I belong to this small group and I'm totally immune to urushi, so you can quite often see traces of urushi on my hands because I do not use gloves. But that's not the best idea if you don't know if you are immune, and testing if you are immune is also not very risk-free procedure. I discovered that I'm immune accidentally. I touched my nose with a brush accidentally during the session with urushi, and I didn't notice that. And if I was even moderate sensitive, my nose would go red and I would be definitely some strong reaction, especially that the skin on the nose is not very thick, and I suppose it would be not very pleasant. The reaction for urushi can keep up to 3 weeks, and it's very difficult to fight with it once it occurs. So the best way, if you get in contact with urushi and don't want to test yourself, just wipe it off as soon as possible with olive oil, so keep olive oil handy at all times. After that, wipe it again with turpentine, and after that, wipe it again with alcohol. Why this procedure? Because urushi is not soluble in water, and all detergents, usual detergents we can use, are not very effective against urushi. It sticks to the skin, it goes deep into the pores, and you really need to get it off the skin as soon as possible and as thoroughly as possible. Also, during sessions with urushi, always use gloves. I do not use gloves, as I said, but I'm immune, and I'm very happy about this because I hate gloves. But do not use latex gloves, use nitrile gloves, and when you're buying gloves, please check if they are powdered or not. A lot of gloves are powdered, so they are covered inside and sometimes even outside with a very fine powder, which keeps them from sticking one to another, and it's quite often that they are covered with powder. So try to find gloves which are not covered with powder, because this powder will eventually get into your urushi and will ruin your work and will be visible in the layers, because even such a fine powder is very visible on the surface of urushi. So use gloves. Always wear something which covers your arms. Try to keep away your face from urushi. You do not need to use the respirator or any kind of mask, because being allergic to fumes is very, very rare. but try to work in a ventilated area, but without any drafts, because you do not want any dust to go around in the air and land on your work. So gloves wear in a way which will prevent, in case of accident, of accidentally touching with your arm to the brush or to the freshly lacquered pen with your skin, but mind that it should not be something which creates lint or dust. Another thing, very important, don't forget that other people can be sensitive to urushi. So even if you end your session, take off your gloves, and I think that during this time, so during these pandemics, you all learned how to take off the gloves safely, dispose of them very safely. Try to use clothes which are dedicated to urushi work and to separate them from other things. Any rugs, papers, any surface which can be in contact with urushi, try to clean safely and separately from other things. Directly after the session, clean your hands with olive oil, with alcohol, then with normal soap and water. Then use some cream not to develop some very dry hands, dry skin, and dispose of all the used paper, filter paper or wiping paper or rugs in a safe way, not to let anyone touch them or accidentally or on purpose. So it's very important because it could be dangerous, and if you want to read a little bit more about urushiol induced contact dermatitis or urushi rash, read an article on my website tamenuri.com. Thank you very much and see you next time.